New free Google AI updates are insane. You are sleeping on free AI tools right now. Google has been quietly dropping some of the most powerful updates I have seen in a while, and almost nobody is talking about them. While people are out here paying for expensive tools, Google is handing these features out for free. If you miss this, you are leaving serious productivity on the table. So let me break it all down for you right now. Hey, I am Hata, your AI educator, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going through 7 free updates from Google's Gemini ecosystem that are genuinely worth your time. We are covering a lightning-fast AI model, a new way to create cinematic videos from your notes, custom AI infographics, free deep research, and more. And I am not just going to list these features. I am going to show you exactly how each one fits into a real workflow so you can actually use them. Stick around because the Gemini live update near the end is one most people have completely missed, and it is honestly one of the most practical things Google has shipped in a while. Let's start with the foundation. The model powering a lot of these updates is Gemini 2.5 Flash. Google has made this their new default model in the free Gemini app. What that means for you is that without doing anything, without upgrading, without paying for anything, the version of Gemini you are using just got significantly better. It is fast, it handles high-volume tasks well, and it does not require a paid plan. Just go to gemini.google.com, sign in with your Google account, and you are already on it. For developers, Google also makes this model available through Google AI Studio, with rate-limited free access, which means if you want to build something on top of Gemini, you can start experimenting right now without spending a single dollar. That is the base layer. Everything else we are covering today runs on top of this. Now let's talk about Google Stitch, because this one surprised me. Stitch is a Google Labs experiment that turns plain English descriptions into full UI designs with HTML and CSS code you can actually use. Think about what that means. You describe an app or a screen in plain English, and Stitch generates the visual layout and the front-end code together. No design skills needed, no coding knowledge needed. You just describe what you want and it builds it. It runs on Gemini 2.5 Flash in standard mode for fast generation and Gemini 2.5 Pro in experimental mode when you want higher quality, more detailed outputs. You also get Figma export built in, so if you are working with a designer or you already have a Figma workflow, you can take what Stitch generates and drop it straight in. The whole thing is free. Head to stitch.withgoogle.com, sign in with your Google account, and you are in. There are monthly generation limits depending on which mode you use, but for prototyping ideas, exploring layouts, or building a quick proof of concept, it is more than enough. The bigger point here is that this tool removes the blank page problem. You do not have to start from nothing anymore. You describe the idea, get a working visual starting point, and then refine from there. That changes how fast you can move. When I first started using tools like Stitch and Gemini, I felt overwhelmed. There was so much coming out so fast, and I did not know what was actually worth my time versus what was just noise. That is when I found a community called AI Profit Boardroom, with over 2,000 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which workflows save time versus which ones waste it. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations, not theory, not hype, just what people are actually doing with these tools day to day. If you are serious about using AI to improve your work and your skills, check it out. Link is in the description. Let's move on to Notebook LM because Google just took it to another level. If you are not using Notebook LM yet, here is what it does. You upload your sources, PDFs, articles, YouTube links, Google Docs, websites, and Notebook LM reads all of it and becomes an expert on that specific material. Everything it tells you is grounded in what you uploaded. It does not make things up from general knowledge. It works from your sources. It was already incredibly useful for audio overviews, which turn your source material into a podcast-style conversation between two AI hosts who discuss and debate the content. That alone is a powerful way to absorb information, especially if you are someone who learns better by listening. But now Google has announced something even bigger called Cinematic Video Overviews. This uses Gemini and VO3, Google's video generation model, to create actual videos from your sources, not narrated slideshows, not screen recordings. Real cinematic content with fluid animations and detailed visuals built around the topics in your material. Google described Gemini acting as a creative director, making hundreds of structural and stylistic decisions to best tell the story from your sources. Right now, cinematic video overviews are rolling out to Google AI Ultra subscribers first. But the free tier of Notebook LM is still genuinely powerful. You get audio overviews in over 80 languages, mind maps of your content, source-grounded Q&A, and the ability to add up to 50 sources per notebook. That is a research tool that would have cost serious money not long ago. Head to notebooklm.google.com and set up your first notebook today. Now let's talk about what is happening inside Gemini Canvas, because this is where things get really interesting for anyone who works with information. Canvas inside the Gemini app now lets you generate interactive infographics, quizzes, and audio overviews in 45 languages, all directly from your documents and research reports. So imagine you have just done a deep research session and you have a detailed report in front of you. Instead of just reading through it, you can turn it into a visual infographic you can share, a quiz you can use to test your understanding, or an audio summary you can listen to while you do something else. And here is the update that makes this even more useful. Deep research on Gemini 2.5 Flash is now free for everyone. Previously, deep research was sitting behind a paid plan. Now you can run a multi-source research session, get a comprehensive AI-generated report that pulls from across the web, and then use Canvas to transform that report into whatever format works best for you. All inside Gemini, all for free. That combination of deep research feeding straight into Canvas is one of those workflow upgrades that genuinely saves hours. You are not bouncing between tools. You are not manually summarizing sources. You run the research, get the report, and immediately start working with it. Gemini Live is next. And this is the one I think most people have not paid attention to. Google announced at I/O 2025 that Gemini Live now includes camera and screen sharing for everyone on Android and iOS for free. Let me be clear about what that means. You can open Gemini on your phone, point your camera at something, and have a real-time conversation with Gemini about what it is seeing. Or you can share your screen and get live guidance while you work. You are not describing what you are looking at and waiting for a response. You are literally showing it in real time and talking through it together. Google shared that Gemini Live conversations are on average 5 times longer than text-based conversations, which tells you how much more natural and useful the experience is compared to typing. Think about the practical applications here. You are stuck on a bug in your code, you share your screen, and Gemini walks you through fixing it live. You are looking at a contract and something does not seem right, you point your camera at it and ask Gemini what to look out for. You are trying to assemble something and cannot figure out the instructions, you show it the product, and it talks you through it step by step. This is genuinely different from how we have been using AI assistants. It is more like having someone sitting next to you than typing into a search box. And finally, a couple of updates that are easy to overlook, but matter a lot depending on where you are in the world. Gemini now supports over 65 languages, and Notebook LM audio overviews are available in over 80. For a huge portion of the people watching this, that means these tools just became actually usable in the language you think and work in. Google has also been rolling Gemini directly into Gmail, Google Docs, and Drive, which means AI assistance is showing up inside the tools you are probably already using every day without you having to go anywhere new or learn a new interface. The direction Google is moving is obvious. They are keeping the core experience free, expanding it constantly, and embedding it everywhere, which means the people who learn how to use these tools now are going to have a real advantage over the ones who catch up later. Quick recap of everything we covered. Gemini 2.5. Flash is the new free default model. Stitch builds app UIs and front-end code from a text description free via Google Labs. Notebook LM is getting cinematic video generation powered by Veo 3. Gemini Canvas now turns research into interactive infographics and quizzes. Deep research is now free on the Flash model. Gemini Live Camera and screen sharing is free for everyone on Android and iOS. And Google is expanding language support while integrating Gemini into its entire product suite. That is a lot of capability being handed out for free right now, and most people are not taking advantage of any of it. If you want to go deeper on these tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 people are in there learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What is working, what is not, which tools are worth your time, and which ones to skip. No hype, just solid practical guidance from people who are actually doing the work every day. It has helped me stay on top of updates like these and figure out how to apply them in a way that actually saves time. Link in description if you want to check it out. And if you want the full process SOPs and over 100 AI use cases like the ones we covered today, join the AI Success Lab. Links are in the comments and description. You will get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 58,000 members who are crushing it with AI. If this video gave you value, hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. Subscribe if you are not already, because we drop new AI tutorials every week. I will see you in the next one.